Okay, what is velocity? Let us consider a particle which is moving along this line, this being the origin, and of course this is your plus x axis, and on this side you have negative x axis. Let us assume that the particle is moving along positive x axis, this being the initial position and this being the final position. Now, as the particle moves, there is a change in position and thus there is some displacement. Now, this displacement divided by time is what is called as velocity. Velocity is the ratio of displacement to time. So, we can write it like this: velocity is equal to displacement. Now, suppose I consider the displacement as delta x, then delta x is the magnitude of the displacement. So, I should rather write it as delta x is equal to xf minus xi. You have already studied that. So, we will write it as delta x divided by delta t. Delta x is nothing but xf, final position, minus initial position divided by time taken. You notice that it is a vector quantity and clearly its SI unit is meter per second. Thus, this equation gives the complete form of velocity. Now, many a times we need to deal with the magnitude of the velocity. Magnitude of the velocity. When we say magnitude of the velocity, it is represented in this form, mod, which is equal to mod of xf minus xi divided by delta t, which is also represented as mod of delta x divided by delta t. Thus, velocity, a vector quantity, is the rate of change of displacement or rate of displacement, and it is given mathematically by this equation. If I want the magnitude of the velocity, then this is the equation. Now, the question is, can the velocity be positive or negative or 0? Let us try to understand. To understand it, let us consider the axis here. Now, this is x axis and this is the origin, and assume that the initial position is here, final position is here. Now, we have already seen that velocity is given by xf minus xi divided by delta t. So, if you look at this situation, xf is greater than xi and therefore, velocity is a positive quantity. Velocity is a positive quantity. So, velocity is positive if it is moving along plus x axis or minus x axis, or in simple terms, if the final position is greater than the initial position, velocity is positive. Let us consider another situation. So, this time particle is actually moving towards the origin. This is the initial position, this is the final position. Now, if you look at it, the value of xf is less than xi. So, which makes velocity negative in this case. Velocity is negative in this case. Suppose I consider the journey of a particle like this. It starts from this position, goes to this position and returns the same position. So, in this case, as xi and xf are equal to each other, velocity is equal to 0. You may consider the case of a particle in circular motion also. For example, a circle is drawn here, a particle starts the journey from this position, completes the circle, returns to the starting point. What is the displacement? Displacement is 0, thus the velocity is 0. The speed of a body is greater than or equal to the magnitude of the velocity of the body. That means speed is greater than or equal to velocity. How? Simple. We know that the distance travelled is greater than or equal to displacement or magnitude of the displacement. So if I divide by time on both the sides, what do I get? So let us divide both the sides by delta t. Distance by time is nothing but speed, displacement by time is nothing but velocity. So speed is greater than or equal to velocity. Many a times, in order to represent this velocity, we consider what is called as average velocity. So how do I calculate the average velocity? Average velocity, to consider it, let's assume that this is the origin, and let's also assume that this is the initial position and this is the final position, and I don't know what is happening in between, whether the particle is moving with constant velocity or varying velocity. At least worried. This is the initial position which is at x, this is the final position which is at x dash, right? So we have time instant as t and t dash, t and t dash. Then the average velocity over the entire journey is x dash minus x, that is the displacement, divided by t dash minus t, that is the time interval. So delta x divided by delta t. Remember, average velocity is always calculated over an interval of time, generally over a longer interval of time, right? It is calculated over a longer interval of time. Another method to calculate the average velocity is to use graph. This is numerical calculation. Another method is to use graph. If I consider x versus t graph, then the particle is moving like this. Say, don't know whether the velocity is constant or not, although all those informations are not available with us. So I just draw the graph like this. It could be a graph of this form also. For example, if I consider another graph, x versus t, maybe a graph of this form is also possible. Now let's assume that at time t1 the position of the particle is x1, and at time t2 the position of the particle is x2. Whether it is a straight line or not does not matter to us. So now if you look at this, the average velocity is nothing but the displacement, which is x2 minus x1 divided by the time interval. So if I consider this point as A, this point as B, then this is going to be x2 minus x1. What is this x2 minus x1? This is BC. And what is t2 minus t1? That is AC. So this is nothing but the average velocity. Now how to calculate the average velocity? And clearly the slope of the displacement time graph gives us the average velocity. So now if you want to calculate the slope for this entire thing, in the case of dotted line, this is what I consider. So this is going to be the tan theta. While in the case of a straight line, it is pretty simple. Theta is the angle here. Thus, in the case of average velocity, we can calculate it numerically or we can calculate it graphically. Average velocity is the slope or tan theta, which can be calculated like this.